What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, bro. And I am just completely stressed out over this thing that I'm about to tell you guys about right now. Pretty much what was going to be happening for Series 2, we already had it planned out based on what the previous year was. So let's go ahead. We're going to talk about John Madden, coach, because yes, that's what it's about. Most of us were going to be grinding for the collectible to actually add a physical slot to get more speed. Now, because of it's such a different game than 19 was. I don't know how many of you guys that are joining the channel right now that played 19, but it didn't really matter. Like, all the cards played the same. It was a very, it was like a basic experience. Like, if one card had this, the other card did exactly the same thing. There was no discrepancy like the way they have it now with different abilities and, you know, a lot of different things that they've added to the game right now to make it be more distinguished. Like, certain players can get rack 'em up, but they can't get double me. Like, you know, it's certain things that go on in the regs, and then you bring it to MUT, and everybody just did the same exact thing, all right? One of the things that we really liked about John Madden, coach, is that you had the opportunity to use the coach to add speed to the entire team after you got to, like, I believe it was like the fourth one, right? The fourth one gave you the slot. That was last year. Now, my disappointment probably is not your disappointment, but it was something that I was looking forward to. So many of you guys, like, I assumed, okay, and that was my mistake. We assumed that the next slot would be speed because that's what happened in the past. Now it looks like you get to get, you know, any of the passing, rushing, and all that other stuff, you know, whatever this is, the rushing, passing, pass defense, rush defense. So there is no physical chem slot as of now with Series 2. And like I said, that's literally the most, like, I was looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that it really bothered me a lot with it, because, you know, as far as all the grinding goes with the trophies, it's extremely harder to get trophies this year and how to use them than it was in 19. You know what I'm saying? If you equivalent everything to, like, what was happening when you had to get those 100 whatever collectibles in 19 to now with the trophy currency, it's a lot harder to accumulate that, especially for a lot of my players that come to the channel and they're like, yo, I can barely win online games. I'm having difficulty with this, that. All I can do is solo battles. It's very hard, bro. So pretty much right now, we're gonna still have to do it because I think that we still need to make sure that we're getting the optimal effect for all of our squads. So we're gonna still grind it through. It's just something that I felt that I had to share with you guys, because when I make a mistake and I tell you guys, like, yo, we're gonna do this, like I told you in the video, I was predicting it, but I was, like, very confident about the prediction. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I said it's definitely happening. It was just that I felt that they're going to do along the same lines of giving us the opportunity of getting the physical slot, like, is John Madden, coach, you know, whatever. But I can see and understand why they're changing it, primarily because speed in most cases actually mattered this year. Now, after the most recent patch, I do want to touch on a few things of what I've experienced. I've played a lot of good players over the last couple days. I don't usually play good players, even though they think that they're good players, but I've played a couple people that I've played over the last couple years, one of them being Voltarex. All right, you guys may have seen him on the circuit. Very wild, savage, you know, swerve guy in Madden 17. We had our back and forths. We actually had a game where we just swerved each other only in that year. But what happens is now with the patch, you can't really beat people over the top even when they press. You remember earlier, like, even with the beta, they made it a little bit more realistic because, to be honest with you, there are very few corners that can recover. And maybe Darryl Green, Deion Sanders, like, I don't really see people, maybe even a Champ Bailey sometimes, would be able to recover after they get beat off of a press. But now you can just do it regardless. So with the way that John Madden, coach, is adding different attributes, we're going to have to take a look at it to see what should be the next tier that we should go after. Because you can see I added everything back to passing. I got rid of a lot of other things simply because I was just like, you know what? It doesn't really matter, you know, with the rushing anymore, because I got tired of just running the ball every snap. But what I'm realizing is with the addition of the way that, you know, you can't even really hit stick. I see a lot of people on social media talking about, Enforcer was nerfed and all. Enforcer had really nothing to do with the fact that dudes just can't hit stick. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go for a hit stick and your guy has very high hit power, you're going to get shrugged off like, you know, straight Taylor Swift. It's crazy out here right now. So we're going to have to actually revamp what we're doing with it, because now we realistically are probably going to end up going Madden passing and Madden rushing. because defensively it doesn't really matter. If your players are decent players, they're going to play out of their minds anyway. And like I said, for the most part, you can't really do before the last 2 patches, the game was a little bit more realistic as far as getting over the top. Now they've brought it back to where the guy will stay around no matter how much he's beat, and he'll be there to make a play on the ball, or they'll give an animation where he's able to get his hand on the ball. So as we're grinding right now and going forward with the gauntlet and stuff like that, I just wanted to make sure that you guys kept that in mind. You know, as you're trying to level up and do everything you want to do, because I wanted you guys to do this first and then go after the trophies, because I was trying to get that physical slot. Now you can more or less just take your time with the gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, you can really literally, like, legitimately, you can just take your time with it, because it doesn't really matter at this point. Honestly, for me, I have 2 more slots left because I only did 2 for Series 1, so I still have 2 remaining. I'm not in a rush now to go to Weekend League and do all this other stuff head-to-head to get the trophies, because I was really looking forward to that boosted speed. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that everybody understood that. Also, when you go to yours, if you haven't yet completed you know, anything or haven't received John Madden Coach, pretty much what's going to happen is you're going to have 4 of these collectibles. I just want to go over it because some people still didn't really understand what's going on. Pretty much it doesn't matter. They kept everything the same as far as purchasing Coach Madden. You just got to use 10 trophies to get them, and then it's going to be 1,000 per collectible. So now, even with this additional collectible that we thought was going to be a physical chem, you guys now know that it's going to be rushing and passing. All right, so some of you guys are going to be asking me, okay, Gmi, is it worth it for us to do this? Like, should we do it now? Should we go for 85 plus overall elite player? Should we use it on touchdown pack quick sells? I'm going to still explain it to you the same way that I had to explain it to myself when I was raging internally. We still have to look forward to the next series, because if we don't do this now, we're going to still be behind. Also, for those of you guys that are complaining about like Melvin Gordon and things like that, that's fine as well too. Like, you don't really have to do nothing with this. Many people are going to go wild and just say, yo, what, this guy never played a snap. And I understand your rage, but if you're able to get 2,000 trophies early and sell them, people are going to buy them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And many people kept their trophies from last season and let EA take half, like you're in California and you're married, just to get a head start. But I'm not giving EA anything for free. Like, I'm not doing that. So that's why I zeroed out mine. Congratulations to the guys that kept it and did whatever they did, but I'm gonna grind now and do what I have to do. I didn't really want the head start. You know what I'm saying? Because for most of us, we were just trying to get through the Series 1. So we weren't even trying to, you know, oh yeah, I'm gonna hold this, whatever. Everybody got half right now. So there are different ways if you want to still grind to still make the coins, but I would not avoid doing this. Okay, I want to be very, very clear with that, because you're still, more than likely, it might be the next one. If it's not the next one, at some point, they're going to have to give you guys, or give all of us, a physical chem. And again, with the way that they're releasing the cards and the, you know, like the speed factor and everything like that, I think they're trying not to make it too OP too fast, if that makes any sense. Even though people are grinding, and in my opinion, it's a lot more of a grind, like I said earlier, for the trophies, I still think they don't want people to be too OP. So if you give a team that already has, what is that, Brawler or whatever that is, you know, the +2 speed from that plus John Madden Coach, that +3 speed is a lot different than what it was at 19. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of things didn't really matter in 19. And it went really crazy. It was the same thing. It started off pretty good, and then, you know, certain patches made things different. So what happens now is this. Because the speed is, you know, more or less more important, you get +2 from here. Possibly next series, you get the other +1 from John Madden Coach. You know, that's a lot of speed just like off the top. And then we also know now that it matters as opposed to what it was in 19. So, you know, many of those things I'm trying to make myself understand. Like, I gotta, you know, like, all right, it's a different game. You know, everything is not gonna be the same. They have to kind of lay it out. You know, like if you're looking at it that way, they have to lay it out so it's not too crazy. Because you gotta remember, right? There's some psychos running around already with theme teams that are getting +2 speed from the theme team already. So if you're already getting the +2 speed because they took away the +3, you see like how everything has been reduced to +2. It used to be +3, now it's +2 only. They are trying to make sure that nobody gets too wild too quickly because of the way that these attributes matter more intensely in 20. All right, so as far as, like I said, with everything, as far as the disappointment with it, I'm gonna still grind it out, but I'm gonna take my time now with everything else that I was doing, because I was actually gonna be in a rush. I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. I ain't doing none of that no more. Now I'm chilling. Bro, I'm chilling right now. I gotta figure out exactly what I need to do and what I'm actually going to do, and then we're gonna go from there, and that's gonna be pretty much it. And you know, I'm gonna definitely keep you guys up to date with it. Like I said, I kept it at passing right now. I could possibly go back and just make it back rushing and then do passing later. I'm not sure if I'm staying with Aaron Rodgers. I don't even know what I'm doing, guys. To be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to Steve Young. I don't know what, it's just, everything is crazy right now, because I was really looking forward to that +1 speed to just make my entire team just wild and savage, but it didn't work out that way. All right, we're gonna still grind it, get those collectibles done. If you could get them earlier, you know what I'm saying, it's easier. Or if you want to wait until later in the season to do it, that's fine as well. But I still would rather you guys get it now, so that in case Series 3 is that physical chem, it's just a lot easier for everybody going forward. All right, I want to thank you guys and girls for watching. Please stay on the lookout for more vids coming very soon. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Or go ahead and hit that notification bell to know when I go live. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love.